Oh, welcome back, my gardening friends. Well, it's Sunday the 23rd of February 2025. These are all the currant bushes, gooseberries, etc. So there we've got the black currants, 2 rows there, red currants, 1 row, 2 rows of white currants, some with the white currants that have got roots on them. So they're going to be probably, hopefully, roots out the bottom. If not, I'm leaving them in the pots before I put them in the fruit cage. Then we've got 2 gooseberries. Now, the idea of this is some of those bushes in my fruit cage are very old. I dug them out as old and just planted them in, but now I've got a good selection to hopefully replace successionally, not all at once. I can take one aged blackcurrant out and replace it with another. So I've had a look at this one. There's no roots at the bottom of that one. This one I took with roots. There's no roots at the bottom of that one either. Well, not many. And as you can probably see, this one is a lot further forward than this one. I need 3 to fill a space. So we'll grab 3 of those, put them in the space, and then we need to feed the rest of my currant family and gooseberries, etc. The other blueberry bush has got to come out at some stage. Well, I may as well do it today. Now the black currants, they're all really starting to bud and open up. Had a few warm days, but it's going to come cold again. So it's time now to feed with my liquid manure. They've already had their log ashes beginning of January, end of December. The liquid manure will give them that bit of a boost, and then when they flower, we'll feed with comfrey. Right, let's get those 3 in and we'll get the other blueberry out. This is where my blueberries were, in those plastic look-alike oak barrels. What I think I'll do now, it's quite windy today, guys, so I'm not sure how the microphone will do, but I'm going to dig these in a little bit. Then when the roots do pop out the bottom, they can feed on all the goodness that's there. I won't put the liquid manure in the tub, I'll put it round the outside. Let's get those finished off. There's no point taking them out of the tubs, especially if the root system hasn't developed properly, because remember, they'd only got a few roots on them when I separated them all and potted them up into the separate containers, so they'll be all right there until the cooler months over the next winter. Now, if you're digging out any fruit bush during the dormant period, you need to, these blueberries have got shallow roots, just make sure you get the spade in there to take as much as you can. I'm dropping this off to the shared area. I'll label it up. Everything else I've put down there has already gone. so somebody will get the benefits and hopefully they'll grow them better than I have, especially just dumping them in the ground without acacia compost. That was a rookie mistake 14 years ago. I've robbed that from one of the pallet collar beds. That was the old label. So, 2 more white currants. I think I'm favouring white currants at the moment, guys. A little bit of weeding. Give that gooseberry room to manoeuvre. Look at that's all gooseberry roots, mainly because I've been feeding from the top with acacia compost. Never really done much good, but I do love white currants. Right, let's go and find and show you what I'm talking about with liquid manure, as he struggles to get his gloves off. For my new viewers, this is a pile of aged manure that the horsey lady has been putting out, and you can see there the drips of the liquid, even from the aged, but I prefer lots of liquid from the fresh manure. I run 2 bins. There's my last year's bin. This is this year's, or I fill this one, let it age, empty that one, so forth. And all the liquid runs out the bottom of the IBC. It's only a small IBC. You might just have seen a drip there. I emptied this the other day to top up my biochar charcoal, but that's what we call the liquid manure. So this is everything that it comes out of the manure bin. Forgot to turn it on the other day, look. So we'll let that run out, top up. But we've got 400 litres in these 2 tanks. We've already topped this up with rainwater, not tap water. We don't want tap water. I've noticed with this microphone, any real noisy noise, after a while it just shuts it down. Frothy, man. Good enough to drink, but I wouldn't recommend it. I've got to do the outside ones, so we just give them a nice generous 50-50 tap water liquid manure. These are all the babies. Once the liquid manure is on, I'll top all this up with some of the compost that we find that's unscrupulously dumped. I'm going to replicate that now in my fruit cage once I've finished out here. And because rhubarb is such a heavy feeder, it's going to get 100%. These leaves have worked really well, especially using the wire to hold the leaves down over the winter, which was a suggestion in the comments. Love the comments, guys. Keep banging the comments in. Check out the comments while you're watching. That's what I do. We don't have to give the fruit bushes a lot because it's natural. I collect the horse manure from the same source. People say, should I test the manure? Well, I let my plants tell me. So if they don't grow, I know I've got an issue. But once you've got over a ton of manure, you've still got to use it. But hopefully the aged manure that I've got, any bad stuff will have gone. And I'll let the worms do the work. Right, I'll finish this. I've got a potato reveal of the blue Danube coming up shortly with some toilet brush action. If you're getting slightly bored. Well, we're in the fruit cage and strawberry cabbage cage, whatever we want to call it. And I tried to tidy up the strawberries, but they hadn't fared well over the winter. Now, I only planted these last year, but it just needs some drastic action. Now, this is a dock. Roots go down forever. Let's take this opportunity to try and get as much out as we can snapped. So I haven't got it all, but goodbye. I'm going to put my tools away. I don't clean them. If somebody's going to pinch them, they can clean them themselves. But I want to just dig some of these strawberries out, pick the best ones, and then replant them. Probably better off putting them in there. But this will just be a little half-hour job for me. They'll grow. Two choices. These are all the runners. That's a nice, nice plant. But once we've dug a little section, cleared it of any debris, I can take these new plants, pop them in. Let's just take that run off. Any dead leaves, that new leaf at the bottom, keep it showing. Anything that's down the back can stay. But that's something I can do when I've got half an hour spare. Didn't really want to have to do that this year. I might just do half and see what happens. My giant cabbages will be going in here this season. I'm popping that into my perennial weed bin. Oh gosh, that stinks. Let's get the lid back on. It's well worth having a bin like that, and after 4 or 5 years you can use it on your growing spaces. Damn wind, obviously. Now these are the blue Danube. I was given these by one of my fellow creator. I haven't seen them on YouTube for a while, but I've planted them up. First time growing these. They've been in the polytunnel since I took the horns out. And of course they're quite difficult to see. Now we're getting down to the homemade compost. The first layers were there to protect them from the light. But I'll probably only put 3 potatoes in each tub, or depending on what I was given, I can't remember. These all went into the compost that we got out the pallet collar temporary compost bins. They're still quite firm, but the compost's quite dry. But they're not big potatoes, but they're the potatoes we like. I believe they're the ones that are white on the inside, not blue all the way through. I'll find out in a minute. I guarantee I won't get all these. But these haven't had anything extra added. All I've done is add my homemade compost, including the odd stick. But it's all breaking down. Potatoes do a cracking job. Let's do the other one. You see the material there is breaking down lovely. The potatoes in here. Definitely one for me to grow again. And I'll share these with my elderly parents. That compost, considering it wasn't mature compost. There's one of the seed potatoes that can stay in because it'll all break down. No, definitely one there to grow, guys. I presume I had 3 potatoes, 4 potatoes. I can't remember what she gave me. But we met up at the Malvern show in 2023, because I didn't go to the Malvern show in 2024 because of my wife being so poorly. Right, I'm going to have a fertile through there, but that's impressive. And they were probably planted in March. Took the horns out, popped them in the polytunnel. Some might be frosted, but they've been well protected, stacked on each other. Well, that took a little while, but I'm just going to select 8 potatoes. Maybe 6. They're quite... so I'm going to keep those. If they've gone green, that make ideal potatoes, but you probably noticed that there's quite a few more in there. Took a while to sort out. Didn't want to put any in, so I'm going to keep those to one side. And we'll get these cleaned up. They're quite clean anyway, but the less soil we take home with us, the better. Keep it on the allotment, it's precious. I don't know, the toilet brushes don't cost a lot, guys, so the times of me taking them back home, put back in the bathroom, we're gone there. As you can imagine, Mrs. K isn't impressed. Saves you getting cold hands. Definitely a nice haul from a few potatoes. Just have to double check that one to see if it's frosted. No, nice potato. We don't peel our potatoes, we just steam them. The skin's the best bit. Now I can enjoy the bulbs after doing a few little jobs. Got more to do after I say goodbye to you today, but hopefully it'll be giving you inspiration to do a little bit, even though the weather's not perfect. If you like the content, give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down for the interaction. Check out the end screens and leave me a comment on whatever subject you like. Hopefully the strong wind that I'm feeling you can't hear. Happy gardening to you all. Till next time, my friends. Ta-ra for now.